And there you see the finished speedy sleeve installed onto the harmonic balancer's sealing surface. That'll give us an excellent sealing area, so while we're fixing the leaking timing cover, we won't have this issue later on down the road. Alright, well, I'm going to take the timing cover off the engine, and then we'll start on removing and replacing the timing gear set. Well, as you can see here, we finally got that pesky timing chain cover off this Ford 3.0 engine. And here on the back side, this is the area right here that was leaking on the engine, right around here, this area. See how it's all black and stuff? It's not clean. That's an indication that something was not right. Okay, here we see our timing chain and gears. Finally, we found them. If I can get this camera down in there. Not how well you can see that, but little bit of play there. 141,000 miles. So we went ahead and bought a set, Advanced Discount Auto Parts, and surprisingly enough, first time I've seen this in a long time, from Advanced Discount Auto Parts. The box was printed in USA, but it also says here on the sticker, can you make that out? I believe that says made in USA. Where in the hell is USA? I've been too used to seeing made in China, made in Taiwan, made every damn where else, China, except the United States of America. So let's hope these people in USA know how to make a timing chain and set. Alright, I'm going to pull the old off, and then I'm going to put the new on, and we'll compare the difference. Okay, here we have the obligatory, however you say that word, shot of the new and the old. Okay, new, old, new, old. And if you're still confused, the old one will have dirt and oil all over it. The new one won't. And hopefully when you, here's what your engine looks like with the timing chain. You do not want the camera or anything to move during this time. This is very critical to your engine's operation, is the timing. Okay, I got the timing chain set in, gear and chains. This is a special bolt and washer, and what's special about it is it's hollow. See the hole? And it has another hole right there. What that does is oil comes in here, comes out there, and gets slung through the gear, the top gear, in the timing chain set. Right down there, you can see it behind those lines. And what that does is it slings the oil through the chain, or the top gear, through the chain to the bottom chain, so everything's nice and lubricated. And I had put some engine build assembly fluid, build fluid, you know, it's got moly and graphite and all that good stuff in it. And this bolt torques to 51 inch-pounds. If you're doing this without a Haynes or a factory service manual, or at least looking up the specifications for your torques on the internet, if you're not doing that, you're doing it all wrong. You don't want to over tighten a bolt that's hollow. It's best to follow the manufacturer's recommended torque specifications on all this. I'll be going back together after I clean up the block, get all the old gasket material off, dry it very well, and we'll take it from there. Well, I got the timing cover all cleaned up. I got a new oversized seal that came with the kit for the speedy sleeve installed, and if you look in there closely, you'll see there's grease packed all the way around the back side. That's because there's a spring in there, and that spring helps hold the seal tight against the sealing surface of the harmonic balancer to prevent a leak. The grease is in there to hold packed tight because it'll hold the spring in there when you go. Sometimes it can pop out when you install the harmonic balancer. So that's just a little mechanics tip. I hard glued it to the timing cover. I'm going to use light Permatex number, I believe it's number 2. Remains pliable. It's impervious to gasoline, oil, antifreeze, withstands 5,000 psi. Or maybe that's the one that withstands 3,000. We'll have to go see. Okay, Permatex number 2. Not really sure. Outside of the package tells you everything will withstand. I just know because I've used this stuff for years. Or you can use whatever you want, but that's what I prefer to use. I grew up on it. Now on the edge of this gasket here, right here, you're going to see a little bit of an edge hanging over. Once that tacks up, you want to take a razor blade and trim that off straight. What you're going to do is you're going to put a layer of RVT on there and a bead in the corners on the engine. I'm going to use my Permatex number 2 because I've used it for decades and I trust it. And I'm going to getting real close to reassembling this sucker. Alright, well, I didn't think you people wanted to watch me clean parts for 2 hours, so I just cut that out. Just imagine it clean enough to eat off of. It's clean enough to glue a gasket to. You got corrosion pitting and stuff like that, but generally you get the idea. The surface has got to be clean, no raised material. Scuffed up a little bit so it'll grab onto whatever you're wanting to stick to it. Alright then, we'll see you later. Well, I've been working a couple hours now. I got the accessory drive back on. I also put the bracket for the tensioner pulley back on and put the fan belt back on. The way I did it was I put the belt on everything except for this top idler pulley. Then I used a 15mm wrench on the tensioner pulley, and then I just pushed the belt down underneath that pulley. And that's a fairly easy way to do it. Put a drop of thread lock here and there, and when I go to put my radiator hoses on, new or used, just take a little bit of Gojo hand cleaner, non-pumice, no pumice. You want no grit in there. Just a little coat on the inside of that hose and it'll slip right on. And the next time you have to take it off, it'll come right off. Best thing in the world I ever found for it. Alright, well, I'm going to start it up, make sure the timing's still in, and see what we got left to do. Well, I got her all back together and she's running just fine. Topping it off with antifreeze, letting it warm up, and see if we can put back in what we took out. I'll have to add a little bit extra because we did lose some to the leaking. And then I guess I'll get around to cleaning those battery thermals one day. Alright, well, that's how you put a set of timing chains in a 3.0 Ford 2002 Ranger. Bye.